Hey, what's up, guys? I'm doing another reaction video. This time I'm using Young Turks, the Young Turks. I'm not what do you call it? I don't own the rights to them, but they're one of my favorite YouTube channels. And let's just see what's happening with them today, okay? Let me see here. Okay, here we go.
Head of New York's Police Benevolent Association, that's the union representing the police departments, raged about how cops have been mistreated in the press. Yeah. These videos are incredible to watch because remember, this is the head of the police union that represents cops in the state of New York. Take a look.
Okay, New York, that's my hometown. I grew up in the Bronx. Okay, let's see what he got to say.
In the papers all week, we all read in the papers that in the black community, mothers are worried about their children getting home from school without being killed by a cop. What world are we living in? That doesn't happen.
Wait 1 minute. It doesn't happen? It doesn't happen. Okay, before I jump out of my seat, let me give him a chance.
Does not happen. I am not Derek Chauvin. They are not him. He killed someone. We didn't.
Okay. First of all, let me start by saying this. All right? There's a bunch of people standing behind him that appears to be police officers. Whenever you stand behind someone, that shows that you're agreeing with them, you're going along with them. So while these cops are out there killing black men of color, the same thing is happening. Other cops are standing behind them, supporting them, and letting someone die. It might not be happening in your world because you're white, okay? But it's happening.
We are restrained. And you know what? I'm saying this to all the cops here. Because you know what? Everybody's trying to shame us.
Nobody's trying to shame you. Nobody is trying to shame you. This is the most simple thing. And this is the most simple direction I could give you. Stop killing black, unarmed people. That's that. What's hard to understand? I don't understand what's hard to understand about that.
The legislators, the press, everybody's trying to shame us.
First of all, it's being recorded. Okay? First of all, it's being recorded. So the only thing shaming you are the videos.
It's being embarrassed about our profession. Well, you know what? This isn't stained by someone in Minneapolis.
Yes, it is. It's stained. Yes, it is. We shouldn't lose one citizen. We shouldn't lose one person to police brutality. Period. So if one dies, that's one too many.
Still got a shine on it. And so do theirs. So do theirs. Stop treating us like animals and bugs.
Stop treating us like animals. Who recently had a knee on the neck? Was it a police officer? Who recently had their house broken into while she slept in her bed and got riddled with bullets and her husband taken to jail? Was she an animal? Who recently went jogging, right? was hunted down, shot to death like an animal, and the law enforcement sat on it for about a week or 2 weeks. Was he an animal?
Start treating us with some respect.
In order to get respect, you got to give respect. And you know what's shocking right now to me is why you're so upset. We the ones dying. Why are you upset? And it's so weird because they did the same thing at the Kavanaugh hearing. They were yelling, and especially Kavanaugh, yelling and cursing, and Biff and me was drinking beer and acting crazy, and they still pull him into the Supreme Court. Wake up. Wake up. Because if it was your son, or if it was your daughter, or if it was your father, or if it was your mother, or your niece, or your nephew, or your friend lying on the ground with a knee in his neck, you'd be singing a different tune, sir.
Man, that is rich. That is rich. We have one more clip, which we'll get to in just a second. But Jake, I mean, we're still reporting on what happened to Martin Gugino, a 75-year-old man who was shoved to the ground by 2 Buffalo, New York cops who are now facing second-degree assault charges.
You know what's interesting about that is I saw the video several times. And about, I think, maybe two of the police officers started to go after he fell and hit his head. 2 police officers started to go like towards him. I guess they were concerned. And there was another police officer that was pushing them away from tending to a senior citizen bleeding on the ground. So when you have one bad apple, it spoils the whole bunch. That's why you take the bad apples out. It's just ridiculous.
Same time, all the dozens of other cops surrounding them didn't want to help Gugino, didn't even attempt to help Gugino. Only one of them tried, and he was discouraged from all the rest from doing so.
Yes.
I mean, New York is where police tried to run over protesters.
Now that's crazy. They try to run over protesters in New York. Have y'all lost your mind? Don't you remember what happened in Charlottesville when the guy got in the car and ran over the alt-right or the white supremacists and ran over the peaceful people and killed Heather Heyer? Do we learn? Do we learn from these experiences?
New York is where Eric Garner was choked to death. I mean, how many more examples do you need? I love how he's trying to pretend as though, like, no, you don't get it. The cops in New York were golden. I mean, yeah, that stop and frisk situation, that was kind of bad. You know, that, like, systemic racial profiling we engaged in, that was kind of bad. But let's not mention that right now. It's Minneapolis. Minneapolis, disgusting. Us, we still got to shine on it. No, you don't.
I like these two. They're in the corner of people of color. I think sometimes, not to criticize, but I think sometimes when they do things specifically geared towards moments like this, I think they really need African American, a black person, to be with them in this, I think it will help give it a little bit more perspective. But I'll take what I could get because I'm just happy they're doing
it. You don't.
Anna, what I was going to start with is Eric Garner. I mean, he said, we don't do that. No, you literally did that. New York City, forget Buffalo, New York City, these same exact cops. George Floyd got choked and he died.
I can't believe what happened to Eric Garner. And the things they killed people for, is so weird. And I think Eric Garner with cigarettes. Somebody else. Well, I'm not talking about just New York. I'm talking about in general. Somebody else. I think they didn't turn on their light or turn down their high beams when they enter traffic or something like this. They got shot, chased and shot and killed, and all kinds of things white people don't die from. It's weird. White men have been known to shoot up schools and shoot up churches and shoot up stadiums and shoot up concerts and movie theaters, and they handcuff them and take them away. Come on now.
One of his last words was, "I can't breathe." Eric Garner got choked by NYPD, died. One of his last words was, "I can't
Horrible.
breathe." It is nearly identical what you did.
And why are you going to have all this riot gear for your own people? I don't understand what the bullying tactics are. But I do, because the person at the top is the biggest bully.
And the nerve of this guy to come up. And then he says, "Oh, we deserve respect." No, you go around killing people to try to get respect. Oh, hey, what did you say? Because what's the biggest crime in America? Disrespecting a police officer.
He said, first of all, you can't respect nobody when you're dead. We are going to respect. How could we respect you? We dead on the ground. You're killing the people. You're not giving them a chance to respect.
They will crack your skull. They'll do a false arrest, and sometimes even kill you if you disrespect a police officer. And then he comes out and says, "Don't treat us like animals and thugs." You idiot. The whole point of the protest is that you treat people like animals and thugs and show them no respect whatsoever. We're supposed to cry for you. You got a gun that the government gave you. You have a badge that gives you enormous power, and you have immunity on top. And now you're crying that you don't have enough respect? And did you notice almost every person behind him, almost all the cops behind him, were white? I say almost because I'm not 100% sure of all their ethnicities, but look at the video. There are no black cops there to be found. So why does it?
Even if there were black cops to be found, when they're part of this clique, everybody's blue. Everybody back up each other and look out for each other. So it wouldn't matter. Or maybe, and hopefully a lot of the black cops said, I ain't going to this.
That matter. Because probably they asked all the cops to show solidarity, especially because it's the union boss. And none of the black cops showed up because they probably don't agree. They probably know, very likely, that their community is picked on by the NYPD, and that's why they didn't show up there. And to all my leftist friends, I thought all unions were great. What happened?
Okay, so there's one more clip that I want to go to, featuring this, honestly, this ridiculous rant. So let's take a look at that, and then I want to show you. You can watch actual video of brutality that's taken place not a year ago, not 2 years ago, that's taken place over the last week in New York.
When they get to that part, I guess I'll bring the camera closer so you could get a better look. There's a glare. I'm seeing a glare over people's faces here. Well, you don't need to see them. You can hear them, right? Okay.
All right, one more clip from O'Mara.
We've been left.
Or you can look up the video yourself. Here we go. It says NYPD union boss rages start treating us with some respect.
Out of the conversation. We've been vilified. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Trying to make us embarrassed of our profession. 375 million interactions. Overwhelmingly.
Why is he so upset? I'm shocked. Why is he mad? Does somebody need to tell me why he's mad? Because I can't figure it out. Ain't none of them dead. I can't figure it out.
Positive. Nobody talks about all the police officers that were killed in the last week in the United States of America, and there were a number of them.
Yeah, but citizens didn't put their knee on their neck and kill them on film in front of everybody. I haven't seen that yet.
We don't condone Minneapolis. We roundly reject what he did as disgusting. It's disgusting. It's not what we do. It's not what police officers do.
He's a police officer, so it is what you do.
Our legislators abandoned us. The press is vilifying us. Well, you know what, guys? I'm proud to be a cop. And I'm going to continue to be proud to be a cop until the day I retire.
See, this is crazy. This is one of the problems. They're angry for no reason.
So, like, Jake, is the press vilifying the cops? Because I hear this accusation all the time. I hear it all the time, right? We're the bad guys because we're drawing attention to brutality. But here's the thing. Like, I'm not going to go streaking during an NFL game and then get upset when people put me in handcuffs because I went streaking during an NFL game. I went streaking during the game, right?
What? All right, girl, now. You're losing me, girl. This one you should have thought out a little. She's funny. A little better. I understand what you're trying to say, but it's a weird analogy.
That's a ridiculous example.
Oh, yes,
but
it is.
I took the action that got me arrested. In the case of the New York cops, they keep taking actions that lead to criticism, like what you're about to see in this short video compilation of police brutality just from the last week.
Okay, let me grab the camera. And put you a little bit closer so I guess you can see. Let me see. Hopefully you can see what's happening. Oh, this is so bad. Ooh. Oh, that's funny. Okay, sorry about that, but hey, you can see something, right? This ain't no professional show here. I don't understand. I really do not. I don't know. Oh, I don't know what's happening. It's sad. It's really sad. The cops should be. I'm getting emotional. The cops should be with us. We're the ones that pay taxes. We're the ones trying to get from point A to point B. We're the ones that's trying to make this world a better place. They should be with us, not against us, and not angry for us standing up for our rights. Because when people stand up for their rights, everybody benefits. Ay, ay, ay.
Just the Minneapolis cops, the New York cops are great. I mean, they just like to run people over as they're protesting.
Yeah, I'm beginning to agree more with the phrasing of defund the police. So
yeah, you should.
Yeah, so I did notice one black cop in the second clip, by the way, just to be fair.
And when they say defund the police, they mean take that money and put it into other resources in the community. That doesn't mean get rid of the police. The police are always going to be here. We need the police. But they just mean to start to, help the community a lot more and maybe hire some police officers of color for neighborhoods that have mostly African Americans and blacks and fix things. Things need to be fixed.
But overall, this guy saying that they're vilified by the press is insanity. Yes, we have been, the Young Turks have been tough on police because we show you all their abuses. And why? Because we hate cops by nature? Of course not. We just want to correct it because African Americans and poor people in this country have been battered by police for decades and centuries. So our job is to cover the reality, and that's what we do. And if he doesn't like that, that's a sad day for him. But for 9 out of 10 of those years, or actually we've been on the air 18 years, so it's for 17.
Y'all been on the air 18 years. Wow. I didn't realize that.
Out of 18 of those years, nobody joined us. What are you talking about, man? You turn on local news and cable news, but most especially local news anywhere in the country, and it was nonstop ass kissing of cops. The cops are the best. The cops are heroes. The cops have dangerous jobs. The people who they beat up had it coming. They have a criminal record. They once smoked marijuana. And look at how dangerous they are. Look at a picture of a black guy breaking into your house in your neighborhood. Oh, it's so scary. Thank God the cops are here. And they'd have cops on the air all the time. Every expert they had on law enforcement was a cop or a former cop. Every local news anchor is buddies with cops. And they're the ones that are protected by the cops. So he thinks they were vilified by the press. They were lionized by the press. The press did overwhelming propaganda on their behalf for as long as we've been alive. So finally, when they go, hey, maybe you shouldn't take 9 minutes to murder a guy in front of our eyes, this guy.
That's something that the people that are alive and in the world right now will never forget. That when they show George Floyd being murdered, the only thing I really look at, I can't really even look at the video, but I look at the cop's face and how nonchalant kind of he looks. And I can't watch George Floyd's last breath. I, I can't do it. I just can't bring myself to watch that. Um, it's a hard video to watch. I can't even watch what's going on. All I see is the police officer, the look on his face. And I just can't get through that video. And of course, I know the narrative, so I know what's happening. But uh, that's going to leave a scar on not only where it happened, but that's going to leave a scar all over the world. Because you could pull that up and look at it anytime. Children can, teenagers can, older people can. And it's just a scar that, if you would have took care of all of this a long time ago, the way you treat blacks in this society, none of this would be happening. We deserve reparations. We deserve equal rights under the law. We deserve to go from point A to point B without being killed, especially by law enforcement. Ay, ay, ay.
Is outraged. How dare you criticize us? But that's their sense of entitlement. Like the guys in Buffalo who quote unquote resign and won't do their jobs, but now say they want to get paid. In New York, conservative outlets are reporting that hundreds of officers want to resign because, in my opinion, because they don't get to brutalize black people anymore. Okay, great, resign. And yeah. I don't want to hear any crap from any, whatever you want to call it, union, whatever, bureaucracy, government. I don't care, okay? If you say you're resigning, you stop getting paid that minute. That minute. You're free to go, hand in your gun and your badge, stop yapping, and if you want to resign, and clean up, go home, and get the hell out of here. And by the way, at that point, you'll be poor and probably beat up by your fellow cops.
Yeah, it's incredible because they don't see themselves as our public servants. They see us as their public servants. They see the press as their own little personal PR arm. And that's not what journalism is supposed to be. That's not what the media is supposed to.
But if you look who's setting an example right now, and it always starts at the top, and that's who's setting the example. That's who's giving the dog whistles. That's who's kind of, saying it's okay to have this kind of behavior because that person has this kind of behavior. Not physically, he don't go up to people pushing them physically, but mentally, he say things that are just horrible. Why don't that angry man talk about the guy at the top? That's where your problem lies.
To do, even though for far too long, unfortunately, that is what we've seen in the media. So when he says that they haven't had a seat at the table, they haven't been heard, all we've been hearing from for years now, at least since I've been working at TYT covering these types of stories, has been their perspective and their defenses. And I think it's finally come to a point where people have had
If you ever look at the Young Turks, this woman right here has some awesome eyebrows. Her eyebrows are, let me tell you, they're awesome.
enough, and that's why you see them out on the streets.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. I really appreciate it.
Okay,
Another
well,
way to
that's
show
it.
support is through YouTube memberships.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be doing reaction videos. I decided that's maybe how I could share my ideas and my thoughts with you guys. And hopefully you'll like them and you'll watch. Okay? Stay safe. Be careful. Take care of yourself. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.